Alright, so Hara diagnosis or abdominal assessment and treatment. This is something that tends to be more Japanese type of treatment. TCM, they don't really, there's not a lot other than palpating certain points in the abdomen, so a lot of people aren't really familiar with abdominal palpation, but a lot of Japanese practitioners use it instead of the pulse. So for some people, some practitioners, they just never really get pulse assessment or diagnosis, so everyone's different, right? Some people are masterful at tongue diagnosis. For me, tongue diagnosis is probably my biggest challenge, but the abdomen, pulse, and so again today I'm presenting two different types of abdominal diagnosis or assessment, not to confuse you, but so that you can try both and see what resonates with you. So the first one is a shiatsu style. It's Shizuto Masanaga's style Hara diagnosis, abdominal diagnosis, and he always believes that diagnosis is treatment, treatment is diagnosis, which is something we hear over and over again in East Asian medicine. But basically when he's palpating the abdominal reflexes, it's also like freeing the organs and liberating the body. But it also gives you because the abdominal is kind of giving you like the immediate response of the body, like it's telling you where the body is right now. So there are certain triggers to look for that give you certain indications. So if you look at the image on the next page, it shows you where all the abdominal reflexes are. So first of all, they talk about kyo and jitsu. So just like the pulse, excess and deficiency, kyo is deficiency and jitsu is excess. So when you're palpating the reflexes in the abdomen, you want to feel if there is, so they say basically the abdomen, the belly should feel like a baby's belly, or like a balloon that's not overinflated, you know, that there should be a nice bounce to it. And if it's too tight, then again, a jitsu can be a surface, right? Or it can be like a true full excess. So we always want to kind of give it time, right? So when we palpate something and it's tight, if we sustain the pressure for a few seconds, it can then either release, like usually if someone is actually deficient and they're kind of having a guarding sensation, right, then you'll feel after a few breaths that it kind of sinks, and then you go whoosh and you sink right into the reflex. So then you know that all the chi is on the surface, but underneath there's a real kind of lack of more sustainable energy. So the idea here, so you can see the reflexes. So in this image, it looks like the lung is here, like it looks like it's where the liver should be, but really the lung is like almost at the side of the body. So that's one thing to note of. And then the large intestine reflex is right just inside of the ASIS, right? So that's kind of just the landmarks that are a little more difficult to kind of identify here. The heart, again, is just under the sternal notch, right? Pericardium is in the middle, and then the spleen is the area surrounding the navel. And then under that is kidney, and under that is the bladder. Now, one of the things that I always, from the beginning, really struggled with in this Hara, like the image and the assessment, was that the bladder comes all the way up to basically the liver, and for me that is small intestine. And I mean, the bladder and the small intestine are related in the patterns anyways, and of course the small intestine is where the pure and the impure get separated, so it makes sense that I mean, you can either, but I think if something is, in this area, it's really more small intestine. And same, like the kidney is an interesting one as well, because we touch here, which is basically the uterus, right? And then it comes around the sides, but if you think about the location of the kidneys, they're straight back, right? They're directly behind here. So when you're palpating the kidney, I mean, you always kind of want to think about, because it's the deepest, it's the water and it's the deepest on the body, so you want to think about like going sort of deep, right? And like visualizing deeply inside. And the other interesting thing is the triple heater, which is said to, govern immunity and the three burners and the interior and exterior of the body. But when you look at the location of the triple heater reflex, it's actually the location of the actual physical spleen and pancreas. So when you're going at these rib cage reflexes, you're kind of going up and in. And we were always taught like the triple heater, if this is like deficient, they say that it's like a weak immunity, but it's not weak immunity necessarily like you're going to catch a cold, although if your immune system is weaker, then of course you're more prone to catching a cold, but it's more of a, white blood cell, which is more actual spleen and pancreas, but they related, or Masanaga related it more to the triple heater. So in my personal Hara assessment, I call that spleen, because it's the spleen, and it's a little more of a Western perspective, but that's what makes sense to me. And then the area around the navel, actually I included kidney, because at the end of the day, it is like if you're weak here, it's a sign of gene, really, because that's like your dantian, right? So that's personally, I learned this system, but that was kind of over time how I sort of gathered it. Now I know people who follow this to a T, and then basically they base their meridian treatment on their findings from Hara. So that's how much kind of strength they put in the abdominal diagnosis. They'll say, oh, well, triple heater is the most excess or the most deficient, and they treat that as the main treatment area. So that's where the Hara diagnosis in Zen Shiatsu is actually the basis of what meridians and like how you plan your treatment. So it's one approach, and basically if you've learned like a Zen style Shiatsu, you always treat the abdomen first, every time. And I habitually do and did, but for me it was partially because also, right, the nervous system, when you're in fight or flight mode, right, your blood goes to your limbs and your brain. So when you work in the abdominal area, it attracts the blood flow back to the organs. So it helps to calm your nervous system down and come out of fight or flight, which is going to give you a better chance of having a more positive outcome in treatment. Questions about that? So I think we'll practice that before we go into the TQi style. Then we won't get confused. We kind of get one and then